Hello, welcome to SCLC Today, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Thank all of you for your responses. Thank you for tuning in. And I'll be remiss if I didn't begin the show with just thanking my chairman of the board and his wife, Dr. Bernard Lafayette and Mrs. Lafayette. My wife and I had dinner with them about 3 days ago in Atlanta. They were here, and what a time we had in the conversation about our travel around the world. With Dr. Lafayette and Mrs. Lafayette and my wife, First Lady of SCLC, Kathleen Steele, we just reminisce about where we have been and what we have done and the different cultures that we have interacted with. Ladies and gentlemen, more than any other cultural aspect that we have witnessed is in the state of Israel, in the Middle East. You know, we've been around the world many of times. We have offices all over the world. But the fact of what's going on in the Middle East, or I'd like to say Northeast Africa, is something of disheartening. It touches me emotionally. Because in the Kingian philosophy that Dr. Lafayette has demonstrated all over the world with his team, with Mr. Charles Alpin, his wife, and others, and I've been with him several times around the world on the Kingian philosophy, trying to bring about a connectivity of all God's children. In case some folks don't realize it, we are all God's children. But to have violence and decapitating of young children, ladies and gentlemen, to me and what I represent, and I'll tell anybody, I am a Christian. I believe in the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I'm a devout Christian. Live every day praying to the Lord. The Trinity is all that's embedded and within me. And I want you to know that we still have to fight. And then some people say, well, why you take a stand with this or that? I believe in bringing everybody together. And if you don't believe in that, then you need to reevaluate your thinking and who you are. We all got to find a solution to the problem of violence, not only in the state of Israel, but also in America. America was created to have an impetus or impact upon poverty. All of the violence with the tongue and the gun, looking down on poor folks. And I see it every day, folks walking around naked here in Atlanta, Georgia, living in the woods behind our office, releasing themselves biologically with their bowel movement and their urine in front of the office. In America, you are not doing anything to eliminate the poverty of violence. Very similar to what's going on in the Middle East. Very similar. And so many folks think they are authoritative or they're authorities on the world issues. You need to check yourself. All of us are authoritative and authorities in some kind of way. Don't think you're the only one to have the opinion. That's what's going on around the world right now. Sometimes you just have to cut off the TV because they all think that they have the answers. You must realize that the arrogancy of who we are, including myself, I'm very opinionated on what I know is right, not what I think, on what I know is right. But many oppositionists will come and push toward getting me out of the way, but I will never leave. I will always be here until God calls me home. Until he calls me home, I'm going to convey the facts and the truth to God's people. If you don't want to listen, cut it off. If you don't want to listen, don't come to where I speak. Oh, speaking of speaking, a week ago I had the opportunity to be in my hometown, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. My. And I talked about Black Money Matters. Black Money Matters. Ladies and gentlemen, I've spoken all over the world. I've spoken to over 100,000, 200,000 people. Rio de Janeiro, over 10,000 people. It goes on and on. Berlin, Germany, I've been there so many times on Dr. King's birthday. And throughout the world, even Moscow, Russia, I've been there. Kyiv, Ukraine, all over the world. But it's nothing like going back home. Nothing like going back to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And thank the people that came out. And also the people from Atlanta that traveled to Tuscaloosa, Alabama to show support. And thank the president, Reverend James Williams, doing a great job. He's the man to carry out the vision and the leadership and the mantra of what is right in the civil rights movement. And you know what I like about him? He's a good listener. And when he listens, he moves forward to resolve the issues. Thank you, Reverend James Williams. Thank you for your leadership and the First Lady of Tuscaloosa of SCLC. Thanks for my pastor, Reverend Smithmore, who's also, as long as I'm here, in SCLC, he's not only my pastor in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, at Bethel Baptist Church, but he's also the state president of SCLC. He's always there when I need him, with Reverend James Williams. I just thank you, Mr. President of the Tuscaloosa chapter of SCLC. So as I close, ladies and gentlemen, we must realize we have a lot of work to do. And all this internal fighting, this group against that group, even within our religious confinements, we must have love and we must show it and express it. Don't look down on anyone unless you're looking down to pick them up. Because it's all about love and caring and sharing. America has never been known for sharing in the profits. Reparation is a reality that must be fulfilled. What is reparation? Repairing what you have done, America. And I'll leave you with this fact. A year ago, 86 trillion with a T, $86 trillion from capital investors was made to small businesses and all businesses. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Only 1/2 or 1% was invested into black businesses. We must eradicate racism, prejudice, and discrimination. And it's a difference between racism and the other two. I'll explain that next week. God bless you, because love is what love does. And let's stay prayed up. Godspeed.